Is Modern Warfare Zombies good? Yes, it is. It is actually very good. There's your answer. But at the end of the day, is it worth it? I can't tell you that. Overall, saying something about a game and motivating someone to do something isn't the right thing. So what I'm going to do in today's video is go over Modern Warfare Zombies and give you a basic idea of someone who has been with the zombies community for a very long time, and even specifically just playing zombies since Black Ops 1, loves round-based, has experienced every single zombies experience that there is, and absolutely adores this kind of a game mode. Overall, there are two categories that I want to break it up to: positives and the negatives, because trust me, this game mode isn't perfect. It is so close to being perfected. Like, I think we are as close as you possibly can be, but I don't think Treyarch is just there yet, and I don't even know if it's their fault, because some of these decisions almost feel bizarre that Treyarch would, or even actual players who play zombies, testers, would have been like, why did you do this like that? So that's what we're gonna question in the negatives. But to start off the video, we're gonna look at the positives. And the first positive is, this game mode is really fun. Like, it is really fun. If you've seen gameplay, if you've seen people say that it's the most boring thing, or see people say that it's fun and instantly assume that the reason they're saying it's fun is because they just don't understand zombies, that's not true. This still feels, to a certain point, like a normal round-based experience. You still have the whole idea of a progression system. You don't really always get to jump in and be the most powerful person, which is unfortunately one of its negatives that I will go over later. And there are a lot of zombies. If one of your main concerns for Modern Warfare Zombies was thinking, oh no, where are the zombies at? What am I supposed to do? There's way too many zombies sometimes. I feel sometimes overwhelmed. Here's a quick description of what Modern Warfare Zombies is overall. You hop in, you infill with whatever weapon you create, or you can also infill with a weapon that you collected in a previous game. From here, your basic objective is collect acquisitions, or complete story missions, or complete quests, or run around and kill zombies and unlock camos, or level up your weapons, or look for Easter eggs, or just have mindless fun on zombies. That is already so much to do. Once you do whatever you want inside the map, you then have to exfil after a 1-hour timer, and then it's a rinse and repeat process of this, which you might be like, well, that sounds boring as hell. And you know what, talking in front of a microphone right now about this and be like, here's how the mode works, it does kind of sound boring, but it isn't. If you've ever played Outbreak always missed something, and that something to me was open world. Outbreak wasn't open world. Outbreak is essentially round based, but just way too big of a map that you continuously change from, and there's barely ever anything to do on that. On here, you will never be bored. There's always a distraction around the corner. Even redoing the same objectives or the same side stuff can be fun because it is so challenging at times. This is where the whole like zones come into Modern Warfare Zombies. You have tier 1, you have tier 2, and you have tier 3. Tier 1 is extremely easy, but also sometimes can be a tiny bit challenging. Tier 2 really can become challenging if you play solo. If you actually are wondering, can you play solo inside of this game mode? You very much can, and even inside of tier 3. Personally, I hopped in there with a ray gun and I took down the Mega Abomination. If you want to check out that video, I do have it on the channel. The Versus series is back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. And then you have, well, as I said, tier 3. Tier 3 is insane. It is something that I wouldn't recommend even a team of players to go into and do, because I did this with 6 players that all seem to have a grasp of what they're doing, and we all ended up dying. Like, straight up, it was a rough game. Tier 3 is insane. You cannot go in there without a stamina up, speed cola, and even a vehicle, because those zombies are mad. And then on top of that, they have insane amount of health, and they will destroy you if you don't know what you're doing. So overall, Modern Warfare Zombies is a big challenge. It is extremely challenging, but it is also solo friendly to a certain extent if you have a basic grasp of what you're doing with zombies. Also, another thing that I really like about Modern Warfare Zombies is just the overall idea of having multiple players on the map. A lot of people say, oh, I can't play solo on my own server. That is in no way ever a issue, like ever, because the whole idea of what it seems like Modern Warfare Zombies is it really just concentrates on having huge squads. Yeah, you can't pause this game because it's not the normal kind of round base that you'd ever have. I don't understand the complaint of why can't I play normal round based without solo and stuff like that. That is completely understandable, but a game like this, you do not need solo. And guess what else you don't need? Round based. I know it's crazy. I was one of the people that was like, oh my god, we at least have to see some round based in this. Now I don't want to see round based. Round based would remove the whole idea of what Modern Warfare Zombies is. Modern Warfare Zombies isn't normal zombies. It's supposed to be this extraction based mode that is extremely challenging. If you add round based to it, you remove life from it, as weird as that sounds. It really is just infill, collect, exfil. Infill, collect, exfil. it really is just like round-based. You jump in, you do what you do, and then you escape, or well, end the game, and you lose all of that. And that's exactly what happens here, because now moving on to the slightly like bad stuff, but not exactly bad, like stuff that can be really worked on, is firstly the idea of the loot system. It doesn't seem to be crazy. You have your acquisitions, which if you don't know what acquisitions are, they're essentially the stuff that you can exfil with and keep. This is excluding your self-revive, perks, backpack, armor, and I'm pretty sure kill streak as well. I'm pretty sure. Acquisitions are things like perks, ether tools, ether crystals, and lastly ammo mods. Those are the things that you can specifically keep to go into different lobbies. And then you have schematics, which is a basically think of it like Cold War Zombies upgrade system, but just removed. There is no upgrade system in this if you were ever wondering, and you don't really need it. You're already kind of powerful with just whatever, because triple pack a punch and gold rarity inside this game, you will have an easy time. But what happens inside of here is if you spend like an hour of the whole game trying to just get almost just double pack a punch and like purple rarity on your weapon, the game is already over, and then all of that progress that you've done is reset. Now I know the reason there's acquisitions is because the basic idea is that you're supposed to have acquisitions so that you kind of have the ability to skip the process of keeping all of your insane loot from the previous match. And it would also remove the whole idea of being extremely overpowered all the time, because again, legendary rarity and triple pack a punch on a gun, oh my god, that can shred even through tier 3. So if you just had weapons all the time that were extremely high rarity, it would make them too overpowered. But I feel like there should be some kind of other system to this. There should be something that would make it work, and I'm trying to figure out what would. At first I was like, oh, just let us keep the rarities on our weapons, but then sometimes the rarity of the weapons really do make such a difference. So then I'm like, oh, just reward us with an ether tool, ether crystal, just so we keep it when we come back in and we can get that weapon back. But then I'm thinking to myself, but that also removes the whole idea of the progression system. If you can always just spawn in with an insane weapon, because let's say you continuously survive, because this game is easy to a certain point, it would make it too easy. And of course, being really good at zombies is good, but then you'd be just too good, because the difference between let's say green rarity and then a legendary rarity is insane. Like, it is an insane difference. Another bad thing is the timer. Well, this is where it all kind of accumulates together, because the timer is a bit of a big issue. At first I was kind of skeptical when the game was being announced. I was like, you know what, an hour sounds good. Inside of DMZ you have like 30 minutes and that feels pretty good, but not on zombies, especially with this kind of progression system. I think if you boosted this up to maybe half an hour more than an hour, it is really just 45 minutes, because once that 45-minute timer comes in, you get a storm that is nothing compared to the DMZ storm. Here you have zombies turning into tier 3, becoming super sprinters, and having the like superpower of disciples. It gets a bit crazy, so boosting that up a bit more time-wise would be really nice and really cool. And that's kind of like the main issues that I have for now. Playing this one day 3 hours continuously, and I'm just loving every single minute of it. It is really fun. There's just a few things that I think they could add over time, and that is probably more like objectives, more bosses, and more fun stuff, and just having a basic idea of this mode. And me telling you, is it really worth it? I say yes, but at the end of the day, it is up to you. It is kind of pointless to go out there and hate this mode, because it is not as bad as you think it is. It is pretty fun, but you are completely entitled to skipping it. You don't have to play it. You don't have to watch people play it, because a lot of people think they have to go to other people's channels, videos, streams, and just shit on this mode like crazy. And guess what? You don't. You're entitled to your own opinion, and you know what? Keep it to yourself sometimes, as weird as that sounds. I'm not an Activision shill for just enjoying something. I genuinely just have fun in a game, and you know what? If you want to test it out, check it out yourself. I ridiculously recommend it. Like, really. It is really good. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Just a little review / picking at some good things and picking at some bad things. There's still a lot to unfold inside the mode. It is just out for like 2-3 days. And yeah, peace out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.